out there. Yes.
Losing time, coldest breeze on the longest flight. Tired of looking for excuses, just get out. I'm not sure that it's possible. My fall is now unstoppable. And I wait for a chance to leave this town. Closing eyes, closing time. I need this now to pass me by. I know I need this road to tear at me, and I need this load to bear with me. My shadow now, a taller man, make two times look to understand. If only that was who I was, now I think that I might be strong enough now. You're pulling on the trim.
Thank you. Sounds good. Here we are, Operation Yard Crashers.
Something like that, yeah, Red Day.
Red Day.
Yeah.
It's videoing until it's on.
Okay.
This is repeating, and then this is set up for the when you're ready. You tell me.
Should we wait like another 2 minutes?
I think so. They always run late. You need a water.
Hey everyone, we're out here Red Day. What are you working on today? So I've been ripping off some siding, and I'm gonna go rip off some more siding and some paint taping and
I'm just joking.
Take me home, take me back to the
She is on her way. We were writing off her this morning, and she's on her way. So hopefully she'll be here in about 5 minutes.
That was who I was, and I thought that I could have been strong enough. And now, how long to take this out to the sun is falling on the distance. I slowly hit resistance.
Our house is right there.
Isn't it too dark now? Losing time, coldest breeze on the longest flight. And
Hopefully in August, we'll try and
get out. I'm not sure that it's possible. My fall is now unstoppable. And I wait for the chance to leave this town. And eyes closing time. I need this now to pass me by.
Yeah, so it's different. I know other offices around
Valley one, it's like the YMCA's, and it's like it's just Hi.
Here we are, Operation Yard Crashers.
Something like that, yeah, Red Day.
Red Day.
This is awesome.
It's good, huh? Turned out pretty good. Oh, hello.
And the clicker's ready for you. So you could just go, or do you rather have it where you know what the next slide is?
Yeah, like that.
Okay. So you can still click to go to the next one.
Oh, perfect.
Would you like me to stay here, or?
No, right there's great.
Okay, I'm gonna go grab my water.
Okay, perfect. All right. Are you ready for this party to start?
Good morning.
I can a clicker, but I don't know how to work it.
Should be.
Over?
You point right at it. Should go.
Oh, you point at it?
Oh, it was working.
Anyway, my sheet gets that up and going. Thank you for coming and participating today in our awesome sales meeting. Lots of good information that will be given, and hopefully you learn something and can take it with you. Again, our vision, we're just going to pop it up here so we can touch on it every single meeting so we always have it in our sights, right? And then we also have our why force these two T's, always important to remember to implement that into our business. Has anybody had an experience on one of these that they've implemented into their business in the past month or two? What would you like to share?
Wow, this got real quiet.
Right? It's like, wait a minute.
Well, I would say teamwork,
Yeah.
especially the front office,
Yeah.
because anytime something happens or changes, it's like automatic, it's like search and rescue. You know, but it's, and save.
We're gonna start bringing our life
Yeah,
in.
but what happens is it becomes we're gonna take care of it.
Yeah.
And what's the word we say? Pivot.
Pivot.
Sharon back there. It is. And so I think that's seeing that happen with whenever something changes, because life happens.
Yes, it does.
And the teamwork that is in the front office is absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Does everybody know how to use it?
The front office or what?
Y4C2Ts? You're trolling me.
I don't know who put me in the front row.
You mean like in our listing presentation?
Yeah, absolutely. Listing or buyer consultations, issues with other agents. This is your problem handling tool for your business. Read what it says, understand what you're talking about with each one of those, and it will help your listings, it will help with your sales, it will help with issues with other agents and your clients.
Yeah. Tia?
I think Y4C2Ts applies to Red Day.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I think literally the entire project that the culture committee, Mindy and Mary put together all falls into that. Considering we did not finish the project on the actual day, and you have people going back, that shows commitment, it shows putting them first, a win-win for the person who you're doing work for, literally down the line.
That was perfect. Thank you, Tia.
And you can even use these for your families
Yeah.
as a guideline.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Also want to say thank you, as always, to our partners. Security Tile, send them the back. Thank you so much. We appreciate everything that you guys do for us here at Keller Williams. We know that sometimes we ask a lot, and we appreciate your business. Also, just want to make note of our awesome ALC. Just, that they're set into committees. So if you guys ever need anything, reach out to them, holler. If you want to participate on one of the committees, come come to me, I'll let you know what committees there are, and then I'll point you in the right direction and who to contact you. They're always looking for more support in those committees. So if that's something that you guys are interested in, just holler at me, okay? Our new agents. If you're here, raise your hand, give us a woo woo. Alright, we've got quite a few here. Welcome. We've got Josh Click in the back. He comes from EXP. Yay.
Jason.
Where's Jason?
Jason.
Jason.
Jennifer's here.
Who?
Jennifer.
Where's Jennifer?
Jennifer.
Jennifer. We got Jennifer. You in the back. Yay. We got Paula. Yay. Paula's with Beth. Thank you.
The McCalls. Wall.
We just did the McCalls. Wait, Jim and Jackie.
Yeah.
Is Miguel here? Is Miguel here? No, Miguel's not here. No.
Anybody else? Ty?
Jeff. Ty's not here.
Jeff.
Where's
Jeff.
Jeff?
Jeff.
So we've got lots of new people. Make sure you guys reach out and make them feel welcome, all right? Our first listings, Maria, Marilyn Powell, and Tori Edwards. Make sure if you see them, congratulate them. That's super exciting. Okay, we're going to start with our red day updates. Yeah. Floor's yours, my friend.
And you. Get up.
Sorry.
Get up. So, how many people were at Red Day? So first of all, that alone for me is like a huge accomplishment, because what we wanted to do was provide an impact in the community and have all of us feel what it feels like to give back. And we know that you all do it in your own businesses and as individuals and as families, if not on a daily basis, many, many times throughout the year. But to collectively get together like we did and see all of your hands raised and bring in partners from the community, we were able to accomplish something that was beyond what the homeowners ever could have expected. Courtesy of Payne Roofing, they had a brand new roof installed. We found through...
Awesome roof, by the way.
We had an awesome roof, yes, and they've been back multiple times too to make sure that it's exactly the way that it should be for the homeowners. And then through Tony's investigative reporting, we found that there was an issue with their chimney on top, which had led to probably years and years of just open flooding into their house and through the roof area. So in order to make sure that we didn't quickly lose all of the hard work that the Payne team did, we have rebuilt the chimney. We also replaced lots of siding around their house that had been full of wood rot and years of just sort of deterioration, and through that found that they had termites. So Varsity Pest came out and they did a free termite inspection and they did a termite treatment with a warranty. On the day of the event, you amazing volunteers painted the entire exterior of their home. Where's Eva, if you want to come up here? Do you want to just talk for a minute about all that we were able to do in partnership with your family's company to totally redo the landscaping?
So what we did with the landscaping was a cleanup of the trees around the property. He wanted them cut back on the back side of the wall. We added about 18 tons of rock throughout the house in the back. Replaced some of the grass area so the dogs can have somewhere to run. We installed new sprinkler systems. Created a little sitting area with pavers around by the pool, with turf around the pool area, so that would be kept clean because it was mostly weeds coming up. And then in the front, we added cement on the side that was dirt, and then also by the back window. The front landscaping area, the planting beds were capped off with cement, and we did some stuccoing around the outer perimeter walls that were around the pool. Cut up some of the rebar that was taking up some pillars that he wanted to do, but he's not going to do anymore, so that was capped off. Made it look nice and pretty. And I think that was all.
One more time.
I think that was a lot, yes. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, just recognize, Jeff's group, he was able to secure
Absolutely.
the paint donations with, Certapro, which was awesome for all the paint supplies.
Yeah, what, like
So,
almost
oh, wow.
20 gallons of paint?
Yeah, a little more, but it was great.
Yeah.
Worked out great.
Yeah, I mean, the partnership and the things that I think we were able to accomplish, like I said, together, were above and beyond, I think, what we even imagined. We knew when we met with the city and their program Neighbors Helping Neighbors, and they said, oh, we have these projects where we can paint people's houses, and I think all of us at the Culture Committee said, we would probably do a little more than that. Like, we know how amazing our people are. We know that we have amazing partners. We can probably do a little more. I don't think we knew what a little more meant. And I just feel so blessed to be a part of an amazing group of people that really have taken their time and their energy. And to Tia's point, we've been back, right? I mean, Tony was back yesterday morning with Steve Chater, and they were hanging away at the fireplace in the chimney. And tomorrow we've got a group, the Herfel group is coming out to join us. We've got Eva, raise your hand if you're coming tomorrow morning. We've got Kevin. Kevin also managed a project where they painted 300 curbs in the neighborhood with their addresses on them so that City of Mesa Police and Fire could find families in a disaster faster. That alone was a huge undertaking, and it was hot on the asphalt. And so a huge thank you to you for that. And
Can I
yeah,
give a shout out?
please.
So, how many of you guys know Ron? He's a home inspector. Okay, so
Yeah.
he's not here. That dude is a stud. Okay, he went above and beyond.
Agreed.
I mean, holy smokes. He
Huge.
called me. He's like, "Thank you so much." I'm like, "Dude, you're the one that like." So huge shout out. He wasn't here, but I'm like, "Dude, you got to be here." He's like, "Oh, I can't." Or whatever. But huge shout out to Ron. I don't even know who his home inspection company is, but he's dying.
Home team.
He is
He was
awesome.
out there yesterday morning with us, he was out there Saturday morning with
That's
me,
right.
so.
So if you don't have a preferred home inspector, we want to certainly thank the partners that we leveraged in this project to help us in our business. We know they're obviously the type of people that we want to be in business with. So please reach out to them for that. I know that on the day of service, HG,
Josh from American Home Guardian.
American Home Guardian Home Warranty gave the homeowners a free home warranty as well, covering all of their house and their pool. So it was just like the gift that didn't stop giving. And anytime we engage people who were out painting the curbs, some of the volunteers came back with cash. That when the homeowners that they were painting their curb found out what we were doing, they donated cash so that we could take it back to the project. I mean, I get chills, like when you and I, Jeff, had that conversation, you get chills when you talk about these things. Like, the magnitude of what we're able to do, I think we just skimmed the surface. So it'd be a small plug for the Culture Committee and getting involved and finding ways for us to partner to really bring these types of things to our community. They don't have to be this big all of the time, but there are ways that if we collaborate as agents, we can change the world. So I just want to thank you all.
I just want to say one more thing.
Yeah.
It's, Mindy and Mary's leadership in this whole process has just been phenomenal. I mean, honestly, I don't think we would have been able to pull everything off the way that we did. I mean, you're able to organize, communicate. I mean, Kitty, how much you did with everything
That's
and
right.
everybody that was involved in this whole process is awesome. Great job.
Everybody pat yourself on the back and let's do it again.
My house is next.
Very good. Jim, you're up. Bud.
Well, it's hard to come up after that kind of a project going on.
I'm starting your time watch.
You're starting my
That
time?
right.
Okay. Is there room to plug in there yet?
Yes.
Okay.
How long is a moment?
Not long enough.
And,
said a special way.
yeah, just go to E, AAA, and then May. All right. So here's a disappointing graph that I get to show you today. Here's the increases. There we go. Have my glasses on.
We're going to learn from it, though, right? That's
We're going to learn a little bit from this. These are the number of cancellations that we had. Actually, it was 45. There was a few on here that I didn't get on the graph today for you to look at. but it's pretty indicative of what's going on in our market. And we're seeing here that the overwhelming majority of it is for the home condition is the reason for cancellation. The second part is loan denial. And the third one, oddly enough, canceled by addendum. I don't know how you do that. And appraisal issues of various types. And what does this kind of information tell us?
Well, one of the things that I see as a listing agent is that our sellers want to take the top of the market price because we're in a competitive market.
Yep.
And the conversation we have to have with them is that that's good, then your house still needs to feel like a top of the market house.
Sure.
And I think there's a lot that aren't. And I think buyers are getting a little more, they're happy to pay top of the market, but they don't want to feel taken advantage of.
That's
and
right.
So when they go into these homes and they've multiple bid and, you know, appraisal contingency waivers and all of this, and then they get the inspection back and the seller says, sorry, it's a hot market, right? Or there's just a bunch of stuff on there and they didn't do anything to prepare. The buyers don't want to do that.
Okay, that's exactly what's going on. So in your conversations as a listing agent, are we going over the fact that it's the easy part for me, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, is get your home under contract. It's really the easiest part. The hard part comes once we get the paperwork signed. Are they going to follow through and actually close this transaction? Now, you haven't done a lick of work on your home in the last 8 to 10 years that you've lived in it. It has deferred maintenance. You're going to charge top of the market price. You're going to tell the buyer you're doing nothing. So you're trying to push your repair issues that you never resolved onto the buyer. How well do you think that buyer is going to feel? Okay?
Question, is this going up in terms of month-over-month cancellations, or is it going down, or is it?
Last month was extremely high.
Okay.
Okay, we had 45. The dollar volume on that was is a loss to our agents, not to mention the office. But our agent commission was $307,000 that you guys gave up and allowed to walk out of your life. Now, the hard part in these conversations is talking to the buyers and the sellers, but you really have to have those consultations up front before you get it on the market. We're in a very tight market right now, and the sellers are seeing, I can get top dollar, I can shove all my issues off on somebody else. I'll go buy a brand new home or I'll buy a resale home, but I'm not going to let them do that to me. Right? So you've got to have that conversation up front and explain it in a kind way. You've got deferred maintenance. Do you, if you went to buy a home and it looked like this, would you buy it? And 9 times out of 10, they're going to shake their head, no, I wouldn't make an offer on it, I wouldn't buy it. Okay, then why do you expect somebody else to take your deferred maintenance? Let's do a little bit of repairs, let's hold it off the market for, gosh, a whole week, and let's get a few repairs done, and then put it on the market. The home that we did for Red Day, would that have sold on our market? It would have to an investor. Yeah, at 60% of the value. So we've got to start having conversations with our buyers and sellers. The buyer is the same thing. Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, you're coming into a very heated market here in the valley. If you're looking at the resale homes, don't expect that the home I take you into isn't going to need some repairs. Okay?
Jim, you
Yes.
mentioned there's 45 cancellations last month, and I know you and I had that conversation. How many is normal? Like, how many have we been seeing?
Normal
last
would
few
be
months?
25, 24 to 30, somewhere in that range. So we're a good 15 over normal, and it's just a condition of the price bumping up in our market, and the sellers thinking that they can get away with murder and getting rid of the property. Buyers aren't taking them.
I think, go ahead.
Was there like a 50-50 of like listings that canceled the contract out, or do you guys keep track of that at all?
I haven't at this point in time, but I will. I'm going to add one more column to this so that we can figure out. I do know that in many cases there were listings of ours that were on the market were not in that bad a shape, but the buyer picked a reason to get out of the contract because a new home just came on the market down the street.
Yeah.
Okay, so some of this is that, and there's no way to control that from the other side of the transaction. But there's some things, we should have been able to keep at least 100 grand of that in your pockets. Okay?
Well, and that's the negotiation part too, right? Which is, I
Yep.
think in this type of a market, not everyone is used to this type of a market or trained to be in this type of a market.
Yep.
And if you're, you know, if you haven't been in multiple offer situations before, you haven't been in, you know, I would just encourage you to reach out. There are
Yep.
enough people in this office who've, you know, been through those type of markets or do enough transactions that they've seen, you know, a
Sure.
lot of things. And so we're all here to keep all of that money in everybody here's pockets. So
Yep.
you need to reach out, like, you know, there's plenty of us who help have a conversation, and we're certainly not, we're in the same bucket. We have cancellations on our team too, but
Sure.
sometimes if we can just kind of sit and talk through what the strategy is, to talk to the other agent. I think in this market, the agent-to-agent relationship is almost more important than the buyer-to-seller relationship. So if we can kind of help coach each other through the best way to have some of those conversations, maybe we can help save
And that's a
some
great point. I can go back and argue that I've worked with agents 3 times longer in real estate than I have with most of my clients. Okay? There are agents that I used to approach with my listings and say, hey, I'm gonna give you first opportunity, Lisa, to come look at this property. Why would you do that, Jim? Because we already had a transaction, it went beautifully, you're extreme professional, and those are the kind of people I wanna work with. So I might actually pitch my listings to certain people, and I did. I had 15 to 20 agents that were on my list. They got every single thing that I listed. By the way, they did the same for me. Okay? So there's that communication and professionalism that we're trying to portray to the public. Some of these are unavoidable. We had one yesterday where the property appraised at the value the buyer and the seller agreed to. Underwriter steps in and says, we don't like the appraisal. We're gonna do a table underwriting ourselves or financials ourselves on it. It came up with a value that was $55,000 lower than the appraisal. Okay, so what does that tell you?
Can you tell us what lender that was?
The panic button is getting ready to be hit by underwriters. Our values are jumping up like they were when? 2005, 6? Okay, now we're starting to appreciate it too fast a rate. They're nervous. They're nervous that nobody's gonna buy those loans, or that, worse yet, they have to buy them back. That broke one of the major lenders in the United States, put them out of business 2 years ago. They were forced to buy back loans that they had overestimated the values on. Okay? So anybody have any other questions about that? We've got a class that we're developing and is evolving as we go along. It's called Bulletproof Your Transactions. Okay, we're talking about writing the offer right the first time. We're talking about getting the right addendums in there so that they don't have to second guess. You don't have to put 3 addendums in the contract when the buyer and the seller are already duking it out after the first offer. It's harder and harder to get paperwork signed as you go through a transaction. Get as much of it up front as you possibly can and nail that thing down tight so that if somebody makes a mistake on the other side, there's recourse for our clients. Yes, Tony?
We've talked about this in the past. And we've had a lot of different presentations on the numbers, the economics of everything. Are we seeing that we're thinking we're on that cusp of that shift that is gonna happen, or?
There is a shift occurring in our market. It's not necessarily a price shift. We may be getting to a point where we're gonna see resistance from appraisers and lenders and underwriters to the values that we're coming up with. And we've had maybe 3 of those in the last month where we're trying to get the appraisal re-reviewed because we know that there's some discrepancies there, and it's because they're trying to safeguard their licensing. They have licenses just like you guys, right? And if somebody up above doesn't like it, guess what? They could pull the FHA and the VA just like that. You're basically out of business. You're gonna rely on the conventional financing to service your appraisal business. Guess what? You're not gonna be a player in the game anymore. Okay, so sometimes these guys are just out of business because of the call by the feds.
I've been seeing, I'm trying to help a buyer that's in like a tight little market right now, and so a lot of the houses that I've been showing is either reduced commissions, it's as is, absolutely no guarantees on warranties, repairs, nothing, buyer buys it as is, or I even saw one at 2% commission, and it was a 4-hour window of an open house opportunity, and you
Yeah.
either showed up during that time or you could not write an offer.
Mhm.
And they closed all showings after that.
Yeah.
So
So-
I think we're gonna get beat up too during all this.
We're in the shifting market, there's no doubt about it. It may get a little bit worse in the inventory column before it gets better, but at some point in time, this will change as well. And wait till you see the buyers when they get in control next time. Okay, so
Depends if demand is gonna be.
the sellers will be out with signs that says, "Buy my house for food." Okay? Yes.
Do we track year over year cancellations, like what this is pacing to?
Yes, we do.
Okay, and
Yeah.
how is it pacing this year as opposed to last
If
year?
if it was like last month, yeah, this is extraordinarily high.
Okay.
I was just gonna say, Rhonda, why don't you flip to our story and let him kind of discuss a little bit of that, because it does show some of our year-over-year numbers, and we can talk about that in conjunction with this.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is year over year from 2017 to 2018, and it shows everything from units to volume on the listing and contracts written side.
You notice we're not really big on tracking canceled sales. That's not money that's in your pocket, but what we're doing is tracking the prime numbers to show us what's happening in our market. The numbers in pink are under 10%.
Right.
It is appreciation or it's a depreciation in the numbers. You can see the closed units, we're really close to 2017, but we're just shy, so we're under a little bit.
Yep.
Closed sales volume is much higher. It's 12% higher, even though we did less units. What does that tell you? Prices are rising, right? Okay, so we're making up for it just in higher prices. Number of listings. Guess what? We focused on listings last year. What happened? We have more listings. Is that good, bad, or indifferent? It's good. By the way, if you don't know and you're brand new to real estate, being the lister in the community means that you're going to last, whether or not the market is going up, it's going down, or it's going sideways. You're in command of the inventory. Okay, so we're in command of some inventory. I would have been happy if that had been 600. Okay. Listings taken volume is way up. Again, that's a price increase. But we did do a lot more listings. The listings sold is almost neck and neck with last year. Okay. So not a huge increase, even though we took more listings, we got the same number under contract. Listings sold volume went up, increase in price. Contracts written is down. Contracts written volume, 279 million to 260 million last year, even though, well, we're down a little bit. Okay? Closed GCI, 5 million. Up 10%. Profit share is down a little bit. That's due to a carry forward because of a bad month at the beginning of the year. So our market has these little humps and bumps to it. Don't get too shaken up by it, but know that you can always come in and talk to somebody and find out the answers to your business questions. Okay, I've got 24 years worth of service. Amanda, you've been in business how long?
4 years.
4 years, okay. DLJ is like 40 years, maybe more, 45, in that range. Danette and Kathy, a good 15 years apiece. Not to mention the people that are on the ALC, or that are the top 20% in our market. You have a lot of people that you can go to with your questions. Don't feel like the Lone Ranger. You're an independent contractor, but don't forget you got lots of help here, okay? Is that good for that? And
I was just gonna say, Jim, just if we look at these numbers, if we only had those 25 cancellations instead of 45,
yeah,
those numbers, the closed units would actually be positive, listing
Yes.
solds would be positive.
There you go.
Right, and if you look at profit share alone, I mean, I'm on the financial committee, I could show you that that number would have been right in line with probably green, it'd probably be positive as well.
Yes.
Or very close to
Okay.
it.
So that's why we're talking about this. Bulletproof your transactions is extremely important. Yes, Mindy?
I was just gonna say from a challenge perspective too, to all of us, right? So our closed units is the same, but our volume has gone up. And so we're feeling like we're making more money and we're being more successful because the per transaction amount is higher, which is great. We all watch our paychecks, right? But if we're not actually growing or taking market share or improving our businesses, then we're not bulletproofing our businesses for a shift either.
Yep.
So sometimes it's easy just to focus on the dollar amount and not the number of transactions. And so I would challenge us to look at that one as important as the volume.
Sure. And as Bianca was just saying, there's downward pressure on our commission structure, right? If we're representing buyers, you pretty much take what you're given, right? But I think in most cases that doesn't have to be that way. By the way, we can talk about that at a later date too.
The punch in the face isn't too hard, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Bulletproof your transactions, your listings, your sales. There's a way to tie these down really tight, get good returns out of your business. And there are a lot more numbers to watch as an independent contractor running your teams or your businesses. And we have great coaching within the office, people who really understand this business. And don't be afraid to reach out and ask some questions, okay?
So Mindy, I love that you brought that up, but let's look at these numbers for just a second and let's talk about how these numbers, how can these help you in your listing presentations? What does this tell us? How can you use this in your listing presentation?
You better hurry up and sell your house before.
We're in control of the listing base.
Something happens.
Yeah. What else? What does this tell us? How can you use this in your listing presentation as a Keller Williams agent?
Just educating the seller on what's going on in the marketplace, all the downward pressures that are being presented to us and how that's affecting everything that's going on, especially the cancellation. I mean, that's pretty disturbing. We have the reason why things are getting canceled out.
Okay.
Okay.
Amanda, you're working at a point here.
Yeah. So my point is can you guys take these numbers? My point
Circle
is
back around.
they're all right. Like I'm just trying to help you create the story that you can go tell your clients, right? Like how is it beneficial hiring Amanda Cragen that works for Keller Williams Integrity First? Well, let me show you, because this is what we get. We sell, our volume is up 30% at our market center. We get more for our clients, right? And we're selling them quicker because we have a big database that we can sell to, right? Like I'm just trying to help you point out little things that the number tell us that you can integrate into your listing presentations. So when I send this to you every month, or when I post it on Facebook or whatever it is, it's not foreign, right? I want it to become something that we look at and be like, awesome, I'm walking into this listing presentation and I can use that. And maybe 1 month we're down. Well, hopefully, we can, number one, learn from that, but maybe something else is up and that you can take that and use that into your business too. So that's my goal with this, is that we can learn to look at it and know it and implement it.
Know our numbers.
Know our numbers, right? It's all about telling our story. It makes us a better agent. It makes us better business partners. It makes us better just in general, right?
Yep.
So yeah, that's my point.
This tells me that I could convey to a seller, we're in control of the listing market.
Yes.
Look at how well we do in comparison with the rest of the industry here. We're taking listings and we're getting a higher price for it because we can prove that down here. 14% above the industry. If I went into the Cromford report or Armless stats and pull either one of them, I'm going to show you that we're 98 to 99% of our list price on all of our listings across the board. Who else is doing that? The next closest number was another Keller Williams office is at 97%. We're doing better at training than they are. We're getting the information into the hands of our agents, and you're making more money because you've got the tools that you need to go to work.
Plus, we just have more agents.
Yeah.
That's right.
I mean, without an air compressor, are you putting roofs on today?
No, not nearly as easy.
Not nearly as easy. You could use a hammer, but who wants to do that, right? You look like Popeye. All the roofers used to look, and framers used to look like Popeye years ago. Their arms are massive, whatever hand they used the hammer in. Today they're using air tools because they're faster, they're cleaner, and more efficient. Yeah. There you go. So yeah, look for our class. I don't know when it is. I was going to look that up and tell you. We got one coming up in June, right?
We're having forms.
Forms, okay.
And I think July will be the bullet.
July is bulletproofing transaction. Make sure that you come.
Is that some bulletproofing and transaction class? Is that something you guys would find beneficial? Yes. So my question is I would love to pass around a sheet. Will you please write your name down so we reach out to you specifically? Somebody pass around a sheet of some sort and just write down bulletproofing and transactions so we can make sure that you, number one, get an invitation and you guys can spread it to your teams or whatever.
And I probably have 3 minutes of my 5 minutes left, so. I'm just going to tell you a couple things about forms that are changing. Our on-site wastewater treatment facility addendum has changed. They've added some things to it. I'm not going to go over everything that they've done. We have a new cure period notice, seller financing addendum for one residential property, a new seller financing addendum for 3 or fewer residential properties, and a brand new buyer's advisory. New verbiage has been added about the phase out of ozone depleting substances. Now, at the LC yesterday, we had one of our great home warranty people come in talking about recapture and the cost, skyrocketing cost of coolant for the air conditioning systems at $80 a pound or something. It's up to, it's more expensive than the price of gold. Okay, and a lot of the home warranties aren't covering those things, but there's notification in here. At some point in time, they will say no more, and that is going to trigger a lot of repairs on properties throughout the United States, because there's a lot of them still running, like mine, running on an older system, and it probably is going to have to be replaced. It won't run on the new stuff. Okay, so we're trying to get the word out about what's the changes that are happening in real estate. All right.
Who would rather have that in June? You want me to try and sneak it in somewhere?
Yeah.
Which is better, June or July?
June.
June? Okay, we'll see if I can't get it in there.
Okay. Well, thank you. Yeah.
Perfect. All right, Culture Award. Dun, dun, dun.
All right. I asked if I could do this before because I was already up here.
Oh, shoot, sorry.
Not very flexible. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So I am super excited to give this award today, partially because I love this person. And so it's fun to be able to do something nice for them. And also because I really like guessing games. And I always make my husband play these games at home, and he's like, I don't know how many years we have to be married for you to know that, like, I can't read your mind. So,
So she's gonna bring
so there's that. So I'm gonna just play with you guys. Anyway, so I'll start super broad because this person gives so much of herself to so many people that I'm sure most every example that I give will give it away. This person, I guess, so it's a she. Sorry.
We got that.
I'm not very good at that. Okay, so it's a she. All right. So this is someone who I met with within a few weeks of joining KW. She proactively reached out to me to talk about our businesses and to exchange ideas. She was a wealth of information and knowledge, and so giving of the information to me. She gave me a CD, which I don't have a CD thing on my Mac, but it was really nice of her to give that to me. And she also gave me more words of wisdom than I could possibly soak up in one meeting. She has an infectious personality. She breeds positivity and encouragement. She's real, and not in like a what you see is what you get kind of way, because that can be a little rough around the edges sometimes. She's really a real, caring, giving person who believes at her core in growth and evolution as a person. She reminds me often that it's a journey and not a sprint, and that we aren't perfect, but we can strive to be better. In fact, in my weird world of liking to play guessing games, I often thought about who I would give the Culture Award to, not because I thought I'd be up here giving it, but just when people were up here, I thought, oh, what would I do? Who would I give that to? And it was always her. This person helped bring our speaker here today. This person cried when we talked about how badly we needed a roofer for Red Day. This person has made commitments and kept them, and this person has great taste in music and always makes me laugh. Tia, this is for you.
You should have brought her a tissue.
I know. She's a better friend to me than I am.
Here's your tissue.
Yeah. It's a crush on
I love my crown work.
We already did that.
All right, did we do this? Did we get everybody's card in a basket?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this drawing, shall we?
2. I also have 3 hats to give away.
Oh.
So if you want to pick 3 more. Andy.
She's like, I have no idea what I just won! Yay!
No, no, just-
Yeah.
There's those 3.
There you go.
Yay!
There you go.
Melody
Yay!
and the McCall team. One more thing, you guys remember Mary Newton for a while she was drawing 2 people and they're supposed to go have coffee to kind of get to know each other at Starbucks. I don't see Mary here, but she has a gift card for that. But we're supposed to draw 2 more. Oh,
Okay.
Tia.
Tia.
You're just winning everything today.
Tia, oh, you guys can go celebrate all of your hard work on Red Day.
Oh, that's awesome!
You need to go buy a lottery ticket right now.
Right now, right? That's awesome. All right, that's it for today. Is there anything else that you want to say?
5 minutes.
Sure.
5 minutes,
Yes.
take it.
Cool.
Yeah, take it.
Cool. All you awesome realtors, pull out your phones, real quick. I know every single one has a cell phone. It might be a flip phone for some older people, but and if it's not, you need an iPhone. Go to Facebook, type in Jason Vaughn, V-O-N, Payne. Add me as a friend. Or some of you don't have Facebook, it's like an old thing now, and the cool thing is still Instagram, I guess.
What was it again?
Jason, J-A-S-O-N, and then space Vaughn, V-O-N, space Payne, P-A-Y-N-E.
Look at your cute babies.
So that's a family and a company one. Yeah, my family should be on there. It should say motivate on the back. That's what I'm trying to do, help motivate people, give motivational thoughts and quotes and stuff. Like me on there, and then if you go to Instagram, one of my biggest ones is at Jason the Roofer. So very catchy, very easy to find. I give a boatload of value, information, education for free on that for everything. Also outside is a plethora of, you get a pen.
Swag.
Here's my swag. Pen, leather coasters for your beer, wine, whatever outside. Just a normal trifold you can give to your customers. A recycle, user-friendly notepad, to take notes on. And a mouse pad, which is also a glass cleaner for your glasses.
What?
So, yeah, it's also a glass cleaner. So, I clean my glasses with it all the time. I have one in my truck that just sit. And you can like go on a plane, be like, oh my gosh, lay it out, boom. Sweet, let's get a mouse pad and let's go. So it works. So, and there's also folders out there. The folders are all of our licensing, liability insurance, workers' comp, BVB ratings, ROC coverage, all that kind of stuff. Cool? The most important thing that you need to do is take one of these. So I'm going to give one to Mindy and pass them around. If you don't have one, put my cell phone in your phone. Okay? 2 reasons. 1, because I'm awesome. 2, because you have met the best roofer in the state of Arizona. Dead serious. Okay? We don't screw around. We get back. Tia called me. Tia, how many roofers did you call? Don't lie.
Well, it wasn't the roofers that was the big issue, it was the supply.
Supply.
So, they called 2, but it was the supply company, somebody donated.
So the problem was that somebody donated supplies. I made 2 phone calls within 30 minutes, and I texted you, and what did I say?
Yeah, we'll do the roof.
I had the roof covered within 30 minutes. He said, what color do you want? When do you want it? When do you want it loaded? ABC Supply Company is the name. So if you need anything roofing related, call me. But if you do like little side things or patio or whatever, you can call ABC Supply. They also do pavers and stucco stuff too. Also, Karnak is the one we use for our elastomer coatings for flat roofs. They're the ones that donated the coating for the flat roofs that since we're finally done with the chimney, I can go back and finish coating it so it's pretty. And I'll send you guys pictures so you can put it online. And 84 lumber provided the wood. Oh, so I called 3. There you go. So all 3 of my suppliers didn't say, oh, maybe, yes or no. They said, yes, Jason, I will do whatever it takes, so let's make it happen. Let's give back. Okay? So that's a relationship that I have with my suppliers.
And can I just add to that? So ABC Supply was one of the companies that I called, and they told me, you got to call corporate. And the fact that Jason has a relationship with them already, he was able to leverage that. And to his point, it was literally within a few minutes. He was like, yeah, got it done. So the fact that if we have partners that have other partners, they can leverage those relationships and really help us achieve our goals, whatever we're trying to accomplish. So.
Almost like name dropping. Who names drops? It'll blow up your company. Storm my life. It'll blow up your company. Name drop every time, every chance you can. It doesn't make you look silly. It makes you look awesome. Name drop because that's how you get free crap. Okay, so it works. So 2 things. 1, how many people deal with roofing inspections or roofing issues on every freaking home you go to? Buying, listing, doesn't matter. Every single one of you. Okay. So if you call my office, you pay $75 for an inspection fee. Tia, if you call me, how much do I charge you?
As a listing or buyer?
So I changed it. It's still a big fat 0. Okay, so I don't charge you to go out to look at any property. If you're gonna listing, hey homeowner, let's make a deal. Sweet, I'm your new realtor. Okay, cool. Jason, I don't care if the roof is 6 months old and it's a brand new build. I don't care if it's 60 years old and it's collapsing. Okay, you call me, I come out and do a free pre-leasing inspection, so you know when you go through, so you know your home inspection report isn't 85 pages, it's only 70. Right? You don't. That roofing is gone. Check. Roof is, I call it hashtag sexy roof status. If you look on there, we have all the roofing stuff's on there. Okay, it works. So if you're listing, I give pre-listing inspections for free. Okay, anywhere in the valley, Maricopa, Casa Grande, Coolidge, what's the other one? The heck up there?
Goodyear.
Yeah, the west side. So Goodyear, all the way up north, Carefree, all the way to Gold Canyon. Okay, so the entire valley. Nothing north of Black Canyon? Yes.
You guys do flat roofs too?
Flat roofs only Monday through Saturday, not Sunday. Cool. So we also own foam rigs. What?
And commercial.
We do commercial. We do multifamily. We just did 220,000 square feet of tile roof in Ahwatukee. It was a condo complex, and I replaced 2 tiles yesterday for a home. So anything from there to there, and let's go get bigger. I'm all for it. So, on the buyer side, representing the buyer, okay, saying, hey, sweet, let's go look at houses. Hey, we want to put an offer on. Hey, we got an offer. Next step, Jason, go look at my roof. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's awesome, if it sucks, if it's beautiful. Go check it out. Okay, sweet, no problem. Go out there. We take pictures, all kinds of pictures. We send the stuff. We will send you a report via email the same day. Okay, I don't charge you for it. Notice people charge me from $50 to $150. I don't charge you for it. Okay, I'm a networker. I'm also a really good roofer, but I love networking and marketing. That's my niche. My goal is to have every one of you only use Jason and paint roofing and never talk to another roofer ever again. That's my goal. Straight up. If that's not what I accomplished here, then here's free lunch and see you later. Bye. Right. So, by the way, who loves some burros? Okay, so I got all kinds of good food coming out here in like 10 minutes. So, any questions? I deal with hundreds and hundreds of realtors on a daily basis. Okay, I know what a Binzer is. I know what a home inspection report is. I know what a response day is. This 10-day inspection period, what is this thing? I know what that is. I know you have 5 days to respond. I know they have 5 days to respond. I get it. I know it's very time consuming and it's a time rush, right? It's all time stamp with you guys. You're like, oh my gosh, I gotta do this stuff. Call me. Okay? Make it easy. Like let the pool guy, the electrician, the home inspector be your pain in the butt. Don't let your roofing be a pain in the butt, okay? You got him. I have 25 guys, Guatemalans, Latinos, white dudes, everybody that are awesome, okay? I love them. They're my family, and they have all been to my house and eaten from my table. They are awesome, okay? My guys are dynamite, okay? Some don't speak English, but I'm bilingual, so we make it work. So, we do stuff. I literally have crews that only do inspection reports, so mortar packs, debris in the valleys, broken tiles, slope tiles, couple shingles flying off, right? A flat roof that looks like this instead of like this, okay? We do it all, okay? We are a general contractor. I don't brag about that because we are studs in roofing. Everything else I sub out. I have good studs. If you ever need anything other than roofing, call me, text me, email me. I will send you, if I have a trade for that person, I'll go and do it, okay? I've already done offers. I've looked at stuff for Barbie. Is Barbie here? Barbie, who else I look for? Is it yours? Who's Barbie's sister?
Mary.
Mary, her, that one too. Yeah, Mary. So they were doing the listing in the bike. Anyway, so I went out there, got out there same day, all that kind of stuff. Okay, quick question. What do you guys deal with? What's the biggest pain in the butt when you come into roofing? What questions do you guys have? Don't say you don't have any and don't feel scared. It's okay. Like, oh my gosh, what about this, what about that? Yes.
What do you guys do with if there's solar on the roof?
Solar, you have one of two ways. It's either paid outright and the homeowner owns it. If not, it's a lease. We contact the solar company. And work with them. They will take the solar panels off. We'll put the roof back on. We will work with them, put the roof back on, and the warranty is not justified on either party. Yes.
Lead time. I mean, that's one of the biggest issues that we have.
Yeah. Lead time.
So
30 minutes?
No, they're getting someone out there to actually do the work.
30 minutes?
30 minutes.
I got a text message while you're up here, no offense. Got a text message while you're up here. I'm going to Litchfield Park. As soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to Litchfield Park. I got a buyer, his name's Big D, where the crap that is. And he wants to go look at a roof for him. He's got a roof corner, okay? So, couple really important numbers, okay? Yes, so this is the biggest thing. If you take away anything from this, okay, we allow payment through escrow. How many people know what that is? Hopefully everybody gets over realtors. So, payment through escrow, right? Holy smokes, this roof is 20 years old. I just went and did one in the islands. Here's where the islands are. 25 years old. Every roof needs a roof. Okay, so you go in there. Oh my gosh, I don't have the money to put on a new roof, Mr. Seller. You've neglected it for 10 years, haven't touched it, right? But I don't have $15,000 or $10,000 to put on a roof. Buyer's like, well, I'm not doing that. See you later. I'm gonna go find a new house. Well, let's not do that. Okay, so let's have you not come out of pocket, and let's have you still buy this beautiful house that you love. And all we do is, if your house is appraised for $350 and you need a $10,000 roof, we go through escrow. You get $340, I get $10. What do you say? Sign here, done. It literally is that easy. Okay, so paying through escrow is awesome. What it does is gives me huge risk, right? Because guess what? You have to have it closed and done. How many days before you close? 3, right? So it means I have like day 4, 5, 6 to get the roof done. So I want to get as close to closing as possible so crap doesn't fall through the cracks and we have 45 cancellations. I don't want to eat the roofing. Okay, I want to get paid for it. So, but I also, at least 50% of whatever the cost is, at least 50, if not more of that comes directly out of my pocket before you even close. Okay, I only work with stud realtors. I know dumb realtors, I don't work with them. Okay, because they're high risk, right? You don't want to have them on your team. Okay, so I know this office, every single one of you guys. Red Dave, thank you. That was absolutely awesome. That was super cool. So just seeing you guys going out there, that was really an eye-opening, humbling experience. It was super cool. We love giving back. We love that kind of stuff, and we'll do it again next year. Come find me, and we'll do Red Day all over again. Right? Tell them like, hey, look, they need a roof. Be like, nope, find someone who needs a new roof, and Paint Roofing's gonna do it. Tell them right now. Next year, whatever I'm big, no size type, we'll do it. You find me, we'll do Red Day next year. Cool. Okay. Yeah. So payment through escrow. That's huge, especially right now because you have people that are neglecting their houses. The valley's 20, 25-ish years old. The average life expectancy for a roof is 20 years. It's a magic number, put in your head. You go do any listing or any showing, and you go, the house is 18 years or older, you're looking at a new roof, or flirting with a new roof, or they just had it redone, one of those two things. Okay? How much does a roof cost on average? Raise your hand. Just throw out a number.
7 to 10. 7,500?
7,500. I heard one over here.
7 to 10.
7 to 10. 15. You're about there. So depending on the size, I just did one today. It was only like $8,500, 1,500 square foot plus a garage, like $8,500. I went and did one yesterday that was only 1,800 square feet, but had a 3-car garage. The front porch was covered over roof, and the back porch, the entire length of the back side of the house, had 4,000 square feet of roof. So guess what? You just went from an $8,500 roof to a $15,000 roof because of the surface area. 2 stories are cheaper than single stories. Okay? Take it back. Sorry. 2 stories are cheaper than single stories because of the surface area of the roof. Okay? But that's your average. You'd be like, hey Jason, what's the roof going to cost? Without even looking at it, on average, we do 5 roofs a week. Okay? How many of you live in a single residential home somewhere in the valley? Okay? How many of you have a tile roof? Your roof costs $10,000 to $15,000. High five. You should educate yourselves. So, if you have any questions, call me, text me, email me. Okay? Tia, how easy am I to get a hold of? Okay? How easy are you to get a hold of?
Same way.
You're absolutely right. She's really good. She gets back. And she has a cute little tree on her little signature when she takes it back. So, cool? So, I'm Jason Payne, Payne Roofing. We're here to help you.
That's it, you guys. Again, thank you for coming. I hope you feel educated. I hope you felt like we gave you some value today. He did provide lunch, so please give him a hug and a high five and anything else that you can on your way out and send him business. As you know that is the gift that keeps on giving.
Can I do one thing?
Yes.
Real quick. Also, sorry, before everybody gets all excited and gets crazy and goes neat, I know you're starting. Slate Restoration also helped pay for the lunch. Okay, I partner up with them. Slate, S-L-A-T-E, Slate Restoration. Jason Jarvis is the owner. Nadia is in the back, and then she's setting up the food right now. They help do that. So if you have any restoration needs, fires, water heaters, any mold remediation, mitigation, any of that stuff, recons, anything restoration related, I have, text me, call me, email me. I have the best restoration company in the state of Arizona. They're awesome. They're in North Mesa. They go valley-wide, and they have 24-hour service, 24/7. So they are awesome. They also help pay for the lunch. So when you see Nadia outside, shake her hand, say thank you, and she has a couple business cards too. Cool.
Awesome. Thank you, thank you.
You got your jump drive, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't pour it right away.